back to Forza Horizon 5 and Forza Motorsport. In today's video, we're going to be jumping in and talking all about the FH5 Update 23 and the upcoming Forza Motorsport. We got to attend a really cool behind closed doors showcase of Forza Motorsport with the developers, and today I can tell you all about it. For Forza Horizon 5, though, we have 6 brand new cars, a brand new Horizon story, some really nice changes coming to the world, and some massive news that I really didn't expect to hear. Let's not waste any time, though. Let's start things off with those 6 brand new cars that you can unlock this month in Forza Horizon 5. And let's start it with this. The 2018 DeBerti Ford Mustang. The way you unlock this thing is by getting 80 points in the festival playlist throughout the entire month, so it will take a little bit of work, but you might actually remember this thing from Forza Horizon 4. Back in that game, it was actually part of the car pass, so unless you had the paid DLC, you've not been able to drive around in this car. This time, though, it is completely free for everybody. You just need to get those 80 points. It's a really cool car, though, because it's got this awesome 5-liter V8 that the guys from DeBerti strapped a massive supercharger to that puts out 750 horsepower. It also has this really nice custom wide body on the thing. I think it's an awesome car. Go and unlock it if you haven't messed around with it in FH4. Speaking of copy-pasting cars from older games and into new games, it's the 1973 Ford Falcon, the Australian muscle car. You probably remember it from some previous Forza Motorsports and some previous Horizons. It's made its debut for Horizon in Horizon 3 because, you know, Australia. I'm actually a huge fan of the Mad Max film series, and the Ford Falcon is like iconic in that series, so I've always really loved this car, but in Forza games, it's always just been a little bit slow and the upgrades have been called mediocre, so I've never been a huge fan of it in the game, but we'll have to see if anything's different this time around. You came here for new cars, though. Let's talk about the new cars. This is the 1970s Pontiac Firebird Hot Wheels Custom. You can unlock this thing by getting 20 points in the autumn season, and this thing is awesome. Not only is it truly a piece of art, just look at the thing. It looks fantastic. But you might recognize this thing if you're a fan of Hot Wheels because it actually won the 2020 Hot Wheels Legends Tour and then got turned into an actual Hot Wheels toy. So chances are, if you're a fan of Hot Wheels, you might own one of these things. In FH5, though, it's gonna be awesome to drive because it has a NASCAR V8 that puts out 1,000 horsepower. It's got a 4-speed manual gearbox, and the thing is just an animal. The only kind of disappointing thing about this car is that by the looks of the footage that we've seen so far, you can't actually drive this thing without the hood on. The developers did go to the lengths of modeling the entire engine bay without the hood on it, so you can see the engine, you can see all of the beautiful fabrication work, but you can't actually drive like that, which is super disappointing. In real life, 99.9% of the time, this thing doesn't have a hood on it. The Hot Wheels toy doesn't have a hood on it, so it's a little bit disappointing, but still a super cool car. Cannot wait to drive it around, unlock it, and see what other upgrades are available for it. Moving away from the new Hot Wheels car, though, to this, it is finally here, the Toyota GR86. Let's go. The way you can unlock this thing is by getting 20 points in the winter season, so it should be super easy. This is a super highly requested car. I am so happy it's finally coming to FH5. To catch everybody up to speed, this particular one has a 2.4-liter 4-cylinder boxer engine that puts out like 225 horsepower or so, 180 foot-pounds of torque or so, and it does 0 to 60 in about 6 seconds or so. Seriously, though, I love these things. They are some of the best little sports cars out there right now. And not joking, the other day on this past weekend, I actually drove the older version of this, the Scion FRS, around a racetrack. You'll see that video soon. It was a lot of fun. Moving away from the little GR86, though, to the big, bad American muscle, this is the 1973 Pontiac Firebird. No, you're not going crazy. There are 2 Firebirds coming in this update, and both of them are different. The way you can unlock this one is by getting 20 points in the spring season. It's the final car you can unlock this month. Now, here's the thing. If you're 12 years old, you're probably looking at this thing going, ugh, an old muscle car? Who cares? Well, you know how you probably look at a Supra and go, that's an awesome car. And if you do a little bit of upgrading to it, it's the best car in the world. But before the Supra was famous for that, people did it on these. There are countless stories from the 1970s of people going into dealerships, buying these cars. They were fast cars, don't get me wrong, but with a little bit of upgrading to them, you could just build incredible amounts of horsepower and build proper race cars out of these muscle cars, and they were ridiculous. I'll tell you those stories in a couple of weeks, though, when we actually unlock this car. I can't wait. It's going to be super fun. And last but not least, our 6th and final new car coming in this month's update. This is the 2019 Hennessy Exorcist. This thing is absolutely ridiculous for a whole bunch of reasons, but let me just give you the numbers. 1,000 horsepower, 950 foot-pounds of torque, a 6.2 liter V8 supercharged engine that does 0 to 60 in 2.1 seconds and has a top speed of nearly 220 miles an hour. It is a straight up just ridiculous car, and you're probably wondering how you unlock the thing. Well, you need to beat the brand new Horizon story. There is a new 8-part story coming in this month's update called Icons of Speed. You're gonna need to jump in and drive some of the most famous cars through these story chapters, and if you complete all 8 chapters, you'll get the Hennessy Exorcist. This story is actually coming to the game this Thursday, 4 days from now, and that's what I'm going to be unlocking here on the channel on Thursday. So make sure you subscribe if you want to see me unlock it. Try the new Horizon story and see if the upgrades for the Hennessy Exorcist are any good. So those are the 6 brand new cars coming to Forza Horizon 5 in this month's update. Let's put a pause in FH5 for the moment. I want to briefly tell you about Forza Motorsport. So last week, I actually got to attend a private behind closed doors showcase of the new Forza Motorsport where we got to see some new gameplay and talk to the developers and ask them a whole bunch of questions. Now, I'm not going to go into all of the nerdy details in this video. If you want to read the entire thing, it's over on the AR12 Twitter page. There's a link in the description down below. For example, one of the things that we saw was the AI showcase, where the developers put the AI from Forza Motorsport and the AI from Forza Motorsport 7 head to head. They were driving an Indy car around Maple Valley on the hardest difficulty to compare the lap times to see if the AI was better in one game compared to the other. And long story short, the AI in the new Forza Motorsport game was 18 seconds a lap faster than the AI from Forza Motorsport 7, which is just scary. Watching the AI rip it around the circuit, it just barely brakes. It takes better racing lines through. It trail brakes into corners and throttles out of corners super nicely and super smooth. Obviously, we're gonna need to wait and try out the game for ourselves to make any true assessment of the AI, but from the short amount that we saw, really cool stuff. And there's a whole bunch more details like that over on the AR12 Twitter. Links down below. Anyways, let's get back to the Forza Horizon stuff and the new world updates. Out of the stadium for this month is a proper little beach party. There's ramps, little beaches, and waves. It looks really cool. Can't wait to drive around this place. That's not actually the big news about the open world, though, because today the developers officially said they're doing it. They are increasing the lengths of the night in Forza Horizon 5. You know how we had that whole Midnight at Horizon update where the nights were an hour long or so? They won't be that long, but they will be a lot longer than they are right now, which is something the community asked for, so it's really good to see the developers implementing stuff like that. And last but not least, the big news for Forza Horizon 5 is that the developers finally did it. They got the licensing for Alfa Romeo, for Abarth, for Fiat, and for Lancia. All 4 brands are coming back, and they're gonna make their debut in Forza Horizon 5 next month. We don't yet know what cars are going to be returning or if there's going to be any new Alfa Romeos, any new Fiats, and so on and so forth. But all we know right now is all 4 brands are officially coming back to the game. It's something people have been asking for ever since FH5 came out, and it's delivered next month. That's everything you need to know about FH5. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Subscribe. Okay, bye.